Ever wonder how you can use astrology in practical and tangible ways? This video is dedicated to electional astrology and highlighting the best times and dates in February to help you find love, success, recognition, and more. Let's dive in. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer who specializes in natal relationship predictive readings as well as electional astrology. As you know, I create candles and oils. I work with astrology in a proactive way. And so with this video, I'm starting a new series talking about the best dates and specific moments, right? It's not just about like the best date, because you want to make sure you're placing the right planet in the 10th or first houses, that you're like emphasizing the correct energy and maximizing the energy the universe has to offer you. Before we take a look at that, I'm gonna stitch it with a different video that I filmed looking at the charts. But before we talk about that, please real quick, leave me a like, a comment, subscribe, press the notification bell. Leave me any positive feedback you have, watch more videos, or say thank you by buying me a tea or coffee. And do not forget that for all of my offerings, my candles and my oils and bracelets and planners and readings, you can visit anastasiadoesastrology.com. So this video, let's just quickly talk about what is electional astrology. Electional astrology is a branch of astrology that focuses on maximizing the positive times. February is a difficult month. We have 5 planets. The Sun is in detriment, Venus is in detriment, Mercury goes into detriment from the 14th of the month. Mars is in its fault, Jupiter is in its detriment. So we have 5 planets between 14th and 18th of the month that are in detriment, and the rest of the month it's 4 planets, right? So it's pretty difficult, and I think many of us are noticing that with Mars retrograde, it's been sort of tricky to get motivated and harder to deal with frustration. And so electional astrology is dedicated to looking at the best windows of opportunity and then highlighting the strongest planets. You do so by making sure the moon is growing, it's waxing, by making sure the planet that is the strongest, for example, at the start of the month, that is Venus in Pisces, the first 4 days we get her, that planet is placed prominently. And then you look at which times are the best, right? Which times are the most exciting. So in this video, we're going to look at the best times. For February, I have selected 5 charts, but in this YouTube video, I'll give you 2. And if you want a full election report with all 5 charts, you can pick it up in the shop on my website, either Candle Shop or Print Shop. At the top, you can get the full video, which includes about 20-minute video and a written PDF report. So it's easier for you to cross-reference it without looking at the video. And so I'm going to guide you and I'll walk you through adjusting these times for your location. And I'll show you how to also pull up the chart. So without further ado, let's dive in. So we're going to start with how to pull these up, right? I suggest going to AstroSeek, and you will choose birth chart. In the extended settings, go with whole sign. I recommend doing it. This is the system I use. And let's start with the first election. So the first election falls on February 1st, 2025 at 11:38 a.m. Eastern. And don't mind the Eastern, so it's 11:38 a.m., right? My chart, and I give you the ascendant degree, so it's supposed to be So the first, it will be the most accurate for you if you live in New York or if you live in the Eastern time zone. Then you can use the times I gave you without any kind of worry. So just to show you the chart that I have selected, right? February 1st, 11:38 with about 27 degrees toward Taurus ascendant. The larger window you can say is active between about 10:20 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. while Taurus is on the ascendant. I like this chart because Venus is conjoining Neptune and the moon in the 11th house of community. Mercury is on the midheaven in a trine to Jupiter, which is quite beneficial. So I see this chart as really good for networking, asking for favors, reaching out to people, social media pursuits, humanitarian work, throwing a party or planning a get together, starting a podcast or some kind of project with friends. It can also be financially beneficial because Jupiter, the planet of good luck, is trining Mercury, the ruler of the house of money. This is not the chart for love because Mars is retrograde and in its fall ruling the house of relationships. So I wouldn't use this for romantic pursuits, for additionally maybe matters involving siblings or neighbors. Be careful if you're trying to use this for like a short trips or travel. So now the interesting part. Let's go back and let's assume that you're not in New York or not in the Eastern time zone. Let's say you are in London. So we'll put London, England, same time, still 11:38, which should give you approximately the same ascendant. But you may need to tinker it with it a little bit. So here we go, right? 11:38 in London gives you 8 degrees Gemini on the ascendant. So I like AstroSeek because it lets you adjust. I'm using Solar Fire when I'm looking at these, but because we are not all of you will use astrological software, so it makes sense to look at the free website. So what you would do here is you'll go here on the right, you have an option to animate chart and move through the chart, and you can move it seconds at a time, minutes at a time, hours at a time. We want the ascendant to be around 27 degrees Taurus. This is 8 degrees Gemini, so I'm going to go 10 minutes at a time and keep moving. Oops, that was the wrong button. But keep moving until I find 27 Taurus. So here we go. We're closing in on it, right? So the ascendant is at 27:44 and the time is 11:08. So this is where you want to, if you want to do additional work and you want to be as precise, which I would assume many of you would because you purchased this recording and you want to use astrology to your advantage, just adjust this a little bit, right? And like at 11 a.m., it is already the chart that I have chosen. So this is the basic premise. Put in your information, put in your location, put in the time I give you, and then look at the ascendant and match it as much as you possibly can. So this is our first election. We're going to move on to the second election. So this is still this one. So the second election falls on February 3rd, which is Monday at 11:30 p.m., which should give you Scorpio on the ascendant. Once again, put in your time and adjust it accordingly. Make sure that you have Scorpio on the ascendant and make sure that you have Moon in Taurus because this is quite a beneficial chart for all matters relationships. I'm highlighting this as a good chart for partnerships, negotiations, agreements, signing contracts, creative partnerships, because Venus, the ruler of the moon and the ruler of the house of relationships, is still exalted in Pisces. So this is kind of a really potent, powerful opportunity for relationships of all kinds. Starting a creative project, making amends if you're in a tricky situation with someone you love. Not the best chart potentially for publishing your work. Maybe hold off on sort of making your work public. If you're traveling, I would once again watch out for that. Legal matters, it's not the best chart. Like negotiating, looking for sort of allies, yes, but in initiating or dealing with some kind of legal matter, less so. And professionally, I wouldn't say it's a good chart because the ruler of the house of career is the sun in its fall. So you want to be careful. And once again, if if you pull up a chart for your location and the ascendant is not in Scorpio, you do want to adjust it. And to remind you, if you want to know the rest of the positive times and benevolent dates in February, you can get my full February elections report on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. You just need to navigate to the print shop or candle shop tab at the top of the website and pick up a full breakdown, which includes a video and a written report. Both are available for purchase, so check out my website for that. And thank you as always for watching. I hope you enjoy this new type of content. Mars is retrograde, and technically it's not the best time to start new projects, but it's something I've been thinking about for a while, so I'll allow it. Please share with me any thoughts you have, whether you're planning to use these dates for anything specific, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.